Hello. I'd
Hey
like to
there.
say I'd like to say hi to all of our wonderful friends that are joining us. We have some that may be watching this after the fact, but I'm here today with Simona, and we are here to discuss with you Fiddler Jam. It's not a newcomer to a lot of you. We've made some cameo appearances on Sam's show, but we decided to take over the Twitch channel today and talk just about Fiddler Jam. So we have a lot to cover today. We're going to give you some high level details. We're also going to take it down to a little bit of the more technical level to show you some sample logs. And as I mentioned, Simone is here from our PM team, and I'll let her introduce herself. This is her debut on Twitch, and we're excited to have her as a guest. So, Simone, tell us a little bit about your role on the Fiddler Jam team.
Hi everyone. Hi Eve. Yeah, as you mentioned, I'm a part of the product management team for the Fiddler family of products at Progress. And honestly, my job is like very interesting. It covers a lot of topics, I might say, but everything related to improving the products and delivering better experience to our users is what I do.
It's a very important job you have. Because not only is, like Simona said, she's working on the Fiddler Jam team, but she works on our Fiddler Everywhere team and all of those different products. So we've talked about in some of the earlier episodes, we've kind of delivered Fiddler as a family of products. You know, we do have that original Fiddler Classic that you're familiar with, but we have Fiddler Everywhere, which is cross platform with some new tools, and then Fiddler Jam, which is kind of troubleshooting reimagined. And that's what we're going to focus on here today. Okay, let me pull up what we're going to share. Can you see my screen, Simona?
Not yet.
Okay, let's go here.
I think it always takes some time. Yep.
There we go. Okay, so this is a brand new slide deck, and don't worry, we're not going to bore you with slides, but we're going to show you some key highlights, some takeaways in the problem that Fiddler Jam solves. So just to give a little background, Fiddler Jam is an end user support solution. So what we find out are people who work in customer support roles as engineers, things like that, they are responsible for identifying end user bugs and resolving them. But we all know this situation uh, where you can't get all the full context, you don't get all the details. It's happening on my machine, says your end user, but you can't replicate it. Fiddler Jam gives you a tool and different features within this tool that allowed you to capture these bugs through video or screenshots and have the end user send them to you via a link. So it's as simple as a log, and Simona will get into us a little bit more about what the log entails um, and how you can get to it quickly. We went through the introductions here. Like I said, for some of you who want to relive the action, this will be posted to YouTube later. If you weren't able to make it live, we appreciate checking it out. And we do have all the details on the Fiddler Jam release, which is a blog that Simona did that really gives you a deep dive into each feature, the benefits, and what your takeaway will be. And I stole this one from Sam. I like this. It's Fiddler Time. I think that's pretty exciting, and it just kind of embodies all the excitement that we have. Um, so Simona, what I want to do is take them through this Fiddler Everywhere hub page or Fiddler Family hub page. So what we've decided to do is we've brought all of the Fiddler family products together on this new page, and we help you select which one is best for your needs. So you can see here we have Fiddler Everywhere, Fiddler Classic, Fiddler Jam, which is what we're talking about today, Fiddler Cap, and then Fiddler Core. And depending on what your needs are, your use cases, there's a fiddler that can fit that. And we try to give you the right information about each of the toolings, the problems that it solves, and the use cases so you can make the right decision. And this just kind of shows it more in a simplistic view of how they all fit together. So we have our web debugging proxies, we have our troubleshooting solutions, and then Fiddler Core, which is our embeddable .NET library. And this is the part we've been waiting for, the official release. Fiddler Jam moved from beta to RTW. This just happened Wednesday. So it is hot off the press, and it's available for free 14-day trial download. And you get video recording, you get capture user events, you get ability to capture local and session storage and mass sensitive data. And we'll get more into the mass sensitive data there because I think you guys are going to find that really interesting. Kind of as we talked about here, is that three tiers how Fiddler Jam expands across that whole department. So we have the end user, and I like this illustration because it just really puts it in a visual way. But the end user, they're having trouble. They need a self-service way. They don't have time to learn a new tool, or they have firewalls where they can't download native software. So Fiddler Jam comes in two um, distinct parts. And I guess I should back up on that. So Fiddler Jam, while it is a complete solution, it's divided into uh, a Chrome extension as well as a portal.
And
And the go ahead. Did you have
uh, yeah, so yeah, as you mentioned, it's the Chrome extension, which should be used by the end users. I can later show a little bit more of how it looks like, how you can play around with it. But basically, they just install the extension, click on Start Capture. They reproduce the problem that they see. They stop the capturing and they generate a link that they can easily send to a support engineer. And once this link is received, it is opened in the web portal, which is the second part of Fiddler Jam, so to say. And there is where you can see all of the information related to the issue that the end user is reporting to you, and basically all the needed information in one place in order to figure out where the problem is, why it happened, and to, of course, debug it faster.
No, that's great. Great explanation. Now, I'm thinking of questions that our viewers might have, Simona. Let's say you're on the support side of it and you're like, hey, my end users are not technical. Is that a concern? How hard is this going to be for them to use this Chrome extension?
This is actually a great use case because not everyone has like all the knowledge, and that is why the extension is built so that it's easy to work with and to basically, I can't say follow because it's literally just 2 or 3 steps. So again, you click on a button, you play with the tab or tabs that you had the issue on, and then you submit, and everything else is left to the ones who know better.
No, that's great. I know you'll show us, those easy steps as we get a little forward, but the Fiddler Jam Chrome extension is available right from the Chrome store, correct?
Yep, definitely.
Okay,
You can search for Fiddler Jam and click add to Chrome, and you're good to go.
perfect. And let's go back to a little bit about the problem at hand. So Fiddler Jam, um, like we said, with the release, it allows you to do all these things, but what are you trying to fix, right? And in this, what we're trying to fix is one, we have situations where the dev team can't reproduce the problem. So they're having trouble, they're doing all this back and forth, and that creates friction. The customer's not sharing enough information. Um, they're saying, I did this action and this occurred, but there's probably steps in between that we're not gathering. Or as a support agent, you're reaching out to the end user and you're trying to get them to reproduce it, telling them to follow these steps. And it's just overload, right? They can't follow these steps. You're asking them to, go to control explorers and do this. And they start tuning out. Again, like we talked about, a little frustration. The customer expects a situation to be resolved promptly, quickly, and they expect a seamless experience. And sometimes you can't provide that to them. And like we said also about the back and forth, those discussions, think about all those email threads and how long they get, as you're trying to ask the customer um, to provide you details, and you never have to worry about missing a detail. That's what's neat because we all typically are kind of thinking the high level things, but in this type of role, you need to be able to get super granular. And this is another big one, and we'll talk about this a little bit as we get into it, is um, the sense of information, right? Everyone's aware right now that there are repercussions, if you're not securing your information or if a customer inadvertently sends you sensitive information. We just need to be very cognizant and mindful of that. Is there anything they wanted to add there, Simona?
I think you're showing it and explaining it very thoroughly.
Okay.
But yeah, all in all, we're trying to troubleshoot like issues faster, to reduce this back and forth communication, and to provide a better experience for your customers, basically.
Perfect. So let's get into the release. As I mentioned, this just happened last week. Fiddler Jam had been a stable beta for a little bit of time, but now that it is available, to the world, we added some new features, and this is one of the big ones, right, Simona? Is this new video functionality?
Yep, this is a great like addition, if I might say. But basically, with the capture video option, you can literally see through the eyes of the end user how he interacted on the page, what he did. You can never you never guess what happened here, what happened there, how long they waited for something, and all of that. So you have all this information visible through the capture video functionality.
Yeah, and removing that guesswork, I mean, it has to take a lot of the burden off the support team, the support agent, uh, because I mean that takes up a lot of your time, and now you can get right to this. And we all know there's high KPIs and expectations in terms of resolving tickets faster, getting tickets out of the queue, getting to done, and you're able to kind of really cut through all of the noise and get to the real issue at hand. And the next one is the logging. So we have this new captured logs button, and there offers new events functionality. And Simona will be demoing this today. We have a sample log, but just really understanding these actions, right? And all these different types of events and the details of the event. Uh, and the fact you can see a little bit here how the items are even numbered and the scroll moves along with you with the video playing side by side. I mean, if there's information not like there is not any information that is not present in here. I mean, you're getting all the details. You can take what you want. Some of it you may not be interested in, but again, it's that full visibility that you're going to get here. And the big differentiator too is it's the end-to-end tool, right? It is a unified tool chain that crosses end user, customer support, and we'll get into more, even the development team. And I think that's pretty impressive.
And that's what you said is great. And we actually have a great question in the chat. How long is the video stored? So the video is part of the log that is recorded. So if this log, after being captured, is added to a workspace, this is stored in the portal forever, basically. You have access to it anytime once it's added to a workspace.
Great question.
And you can also download the video in case you need it you need to review it further.
And of course, there's so much more awesome. Simona, I listed some more of the other things that came out with the Fiddler Jam release. What are some of the ones that you think would really resonate or that the audience would take some great interest in?
I think everything as a kind of as a set gives you, like as you said, everything that you need to know for this issue. So everything works very well together in terms of types of information. One of my favorites actually is here. You mentioned it on the first point, is the capture of storage details. This is we identified that more and more web applications started to store data there. So we decided to include this as a type of information in the captured log. Because sometimes the issue might be there, and this way it's easier for the support person or the person reviewing the log to see it and to grasp it.
Makes a lot of sense. So this is the time you've been waiting for. We are probably saying to yourself, okay, stop talking and show us a demo. So I'm going to turn it over to Simona here, who will show you a couple different things. She's going to show you a little bit about the extension itself and then really get into the portal with a sample log that she created using the infamous to-do app, which you're all familiar with, just so you can really see all of those details and the tabs and the functionality that you're better off seeing. You know, we could explain it to you all day, but everyone wants to see it in action.
Great. So let me know what you can see, as
Yep.
they say.
Yes.
Great.
Always a good idea to check.
So this is actually, maybe I should start with the extension. Why not? So this is the Fiddler Jam extension. Again, it is available in the Chrome, in the Google Web Store. And this is what the extension looks like. You have the 3 steps visible here, of course, for the end user to record the log with. When you click on the advanced options, this is where you can see basically the settings of the extension, and depending on which switch is turned on and off, what will be captured and what will later the support engineers see when they're reviewing the log. And of course, you have the info icons in case you're not sure what all of that means. You can see information about each item here. So very easy. If you want, these are the default options. You can change something if you want to, but then you start capture, you record whatever issue you want to, whatever issue you're seeing and you want to report, you click on stop capture, and this is then you can see the options for sharing. You can share it as a link, or you can share it with specific people, meaning that you can just easily type the email addresses here, and the people will receive the capture log this way. You can add some description if you want to. You can password protect the log in case you have any security concerns about the information that you're sharing. And then you just get the link and you send it to the support engineer.
I mean, that was so simple, Simona. I mean, when we talk simple, I mean, you literally, enabled the extension, hit start, hit stop, and got a link. Like, no one needs any direction how to do that. It's super intuitive.
Yep, and you have the wizard here basically showcasing the 3 steps whenever you're finished with each one, and you're good to go. And once you share the link, this is what the support engineer can see. This is the web portal, and today I'm going to show you this sample log that you can see immediately whenever you start a trial. So this is to get you started quickly and to for you to better understand every type of information that you can get once you start using the web portal. So a lot of stuff here, but we did try to organize it and structure it well so that like all of the needed information is visible. And of course, maybe the first thing that you see is the screen recording tab here. By the way, this is a standard to-do app that we're going to showcase today. So you can press play, you can see what the end user did, all the events and how, like, the order of execution of actions. And this is in terms of visualization. And on the left, actually, let me start it again. If you actually see here, we have a marker that is synchronized with the video. And basically, each step that you go through is synchronized for better convenience. So here and here.
Yeah, that part's brilliant. You know where you're at all times.
Yep, definitely. And moving on, this is the filter option, which when you open, you can see the types of events that we captured and basically the information that you have available for review. And I can go through all of it, but basically we the things that we recently added is clicks. So, oops, clicks, and in case the capture screenshot was enabled through the extension, you will also see a screenshot in addition to the screen recording, which basically showcases better what exactly the end user did. You can see more information here about the event. You can, if it's a double click, this information will also be included. And moving on to console logs. Here, as you can see the type of errors that happened while the end user was playing on the page.
And it will show warnings there too, right? If there was a warning that popped up.
It's a warning, information, and error, as you can see here. So that comes in handy. Of course, network logs available as well. Another event that we capture is navigation. So basically, where the end user navigated to, the transition tab as well, and there's more information if you click here. We also record tab open or tab close. So this is useful in case you have the end user recorded many tabs here and you want to see the order of their opening and closing and basically how exactly the end user interacted. So this will show, this tab filter will show that here. We also capture key presses. As a first step, we capture enter and tab as well from the keyboard. And again, additional context to what the end user did and what he used and all of that. Another event that we capture is input, which is if a text or something was entered in a text field, text area, as shown here, the end user is filling in their notes. And last but not least, we have the scroll. We have scroll down, scroll up, left and right as well. And having all these here really gives you the full context to the end user journey and the issue as well. I have a lot more to say, so
sure, no, that's great.
Moving on
into that storage details tab. I think that's where you're going next.
Yep.
What are we going to find in there?
So here is the feature that I actually mentioned earlier. This is the data stored in the local and the session storage. In case it's important and something was stored here, you can check it out from this tab. Details. This is the description to the log that we have. We also have some additional information such as retina display, DPI, more information about the environment available here. And also in case the person reviewing the log, if they're wondering how the extension was used, or if, let's say, they're wondering why am I not seeing console logs or screenshots, this is actually the place to see and to find out how the extension was used and what was enabled, what was disabled, as you can see here. And yep, I think
there's definitely something for details here. I mean, anything that you need is in this log.
Yep, in one place. all the information.
Now, I know one thing we talked about is, there is a distinction between Fiddler Everywhere and Fiddler Jam, but they can work together. Is that right?
Yep, true.
And how does that work?
So how it works, we have a little button here that says open in Fiddler Everywhere. So in case you want to debug, when you want to debug that, or you want to give it to developers or share it with someone, you can easily click here and you can open the recorded log in Fiddler Everywhere, which might take some time. But this is what this button does. It allows you to see whatever the end user sent you as information, to open it in Fiddler Everywhere, and then review it later there and debug it.
Okay. And
Test
that's a good
it, and
point.
all
They
that.
are two standalone products, but if you need that additional debugging capabilities, you can use Fiddler Everywhere. And like you said, with that built-in functionality, there's no, switching context. Even those sequence and numbers stay in Fiddler Everywhere when you import it over, correct?
Sorry?
Yeah. Even like the sequence, if I said, hey, Simone, I'm going to send you a log. Can you look at number 7? Even if you
Yep.
open in Fiddler, you're still going to see number 7. So you
Yes.
don't have to lose any of that data, but keep in mind they can stand alone as well, but they are very complementary.
Yeah, they work very, very well together. Yeah, this is taking some time, but
That's fine. But for those who haven't seen, this is the new Fiddler Everywhere. This has had some releases recently with some new autoresponder is now the new rule builder. And we also have some new tabs up here. We won't get too much in today. We'll save that for another session, but at least to get a little sneak peek. This is the one that works across the platforms. So this is Windows, Mac OS, and Linux.
yeah, and I guess this is probably usual during demos to have such
Yeah,
surprises. So
no
I
problem.
guess we're good.
Yeah. But yeah, so what she would do is when she opens this up, you would see all of those logs and it would give you like a success message banner at the top. And it would pull up all of her logs and they're
Yep.
right there. And you get all that same functionality of Fiddler Everywhere right off the bat. There's no configurations you have to do. There's no settings. You're ready to go.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see.
We can move
So
on if you
yeah, no
want to.
problem.
Basically, this is the
Yeah.
whole idea.
But no, I think that's great. Okay, let me share my screen. There we are. So just a couple key points currently, in the market, right? So we're all aware that, the customer centric environment is front and center. No longer are support centers being looked at as, a cost center because of these particular items. Like a 5% increase in retention can increase your profits by 95%. That's astounding. And instead of looking at our, end users and our customer supports as transactions, we want to provide them value and convenience. It then, provides value back to our company. So that's what we're realizing is that these support teams, regardless if you have a small support team or a large support team, you need troubleshooting solutions that are going to one delight your customers and two help you retain your talent. I mean, it is a high turnover job. It can be stressful, but by removing some of the stress and those traditional barriers, between end users, support teams, and developers, you can create that more harmonious experience, which is really a win-win for everybody. Um, as we've mentioned before, there are lots of KPIs and CSATs, and there are so many metrics that you're judged on. And this is a solution that gives you a benefit across all of those, and that's what really makes it unique. And we have had some early adopters of Fiddler Jam, and I think it's always good to share what their feedback has been. So here is one that we had um, from a cybersecurity professional, and he said, with Fiddler Jam, I spend less time instructing end users on how to record and send logs because the steps are so easy to follow. And you saw that today when someone showed it. Think about if you got that much time back in your day, right? For each for each interaction you have, If that took you 20 minutes from each one, times 20, 30, I mean, that's a big portion of your day that can be spent on other things that maybe are higher value to you. This is a little bit of a longer one, but I think it's great just to give you kind of more encompassing view. By using Fiddler Jam, I get the full context to reproduce the bug. Even if the flow includes multiple tabs and browser windows, everything relevant is included, which we covered that. Having unified access to the Chrome local console and the web traffic between the browser and our servers, along with the screenshots of end of user interactions, help us quickly triage the root cause of the issue. So, like we said, you kind of just get to the root cause. You don't have to go through the weeds to get there. And this is the part that Simona shared as well, is that working together. That Fiddler Jam and Fiddler Everywhere, where they work together to address needs. And I thought this was just a nice illustration. Again, breaking it down between customers, support, QA, and dev, and where that intersection is. And then what I want to do is open up for Q&A. Yeah, let me go back here. I know we covered a lot of information in about 30 minutes, but what we want to see are what questions do you have? Are there some use cases that you want to share with us? We're here to take your feedback, to understand your reactions. Our role is to take this information back to the team and tailor the product to best meet your needs. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Simona? Oh, see if any questions come in. What was that?
So, sorry, it's okay. So one thing I can add here, I forgot to mention is, we mentioned it a lot, but it's the mask sensitive data feature.
Oh, yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, so we tried to make Fiddler Jam smart, of course, and to look for any data that we might consider sensitive. We have a very detailed article on that and a long list of data that we consider sensitive, but anything related to passwords, to credit card information, to access tokens, if you're afraid that this might be captured in the log, it is not, because we can now mask it and remove it, and even the person reviewing the log doesn't have this information. So no room for security concerns on that note.
That's nice. And that's built right in, and there's nothing that you need to enable for that, correct?
Yep. It's an intuitive feature. We introduced it recently with our latest release. So we have it out of the box.
Nice. And then I do remember on that extension tab, there was a mask sensitive data toggle. If you do that, then it takes away mask everything, right? Even the ones that
it's actually this toggle that was switched off, if you remember, during the demo that I showed. But basically, mask all post data means that literally all such related data will be removed, which might result in masking some non-sensitive data as well, and some data that might actually be useful for identifying the issue. And that's why we added the mask sensitive information option, which doesn't have a toggle, and of course is right away available.
Nice. Now, Simona, what gets you excited that's forthcoming for Fiddler Jam or even Fiddler Everywhere that you can share with us today?
So one of the most exciting feature that we're preparing is having a predefined recording link option. And we identified that some end users might still struggle installing the extension, or playing with the settings, or following maybe, I don't know, some steps to reproduce the problem. So this link option will actually ease this process even more. And basically, what the end users can do is just they will receive a link from a support engineer who will beforehand predefine the settings needed and add some instructions, steps that the end user should follow. So the end user can click on the link, and in one place they should follow these steps and reproduce the problem as instructed. So again, this will reduce the steps even more and make it easier for end users to record a log and to share the session. So
Yeah.
that's one. We also have a clear cache and cookies feature that we'll be working on and we'll be releasing. And again, this is to avoid any frustration or any difficulties that someone might have before recording a log if they have to go and clear the browsing data and all that. They will just have this available as a toggle in the Chrome extension, which if turned on, this will automatically clear any cache and cookies. So that's that.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things planned for Fiddler Jam. I know the team is working hard to deliver this. We've been working on some testimonials from current users, and I can tell you, one of the stats I just got last week is someone reported a 50% time savings by using Fiddler Jam. So I think that's testament itself, to the problem that Fiddler Jam's solving. Now, for those of you on the fence, there's no way I'm going to convince you over stream, but I encourage you. It's a 14-day trial. You can try it out. It's completely functional, and play around with it and see what it make difference in your workflow. It's easy to integrate, easy for end users, and get the feedback. I think it will wow you for even those that are a little bit more discerning. Is there any key takeaways, Simona, that you want any of our viewers today to have about Fiddler Jam?
I think they should just go get the trial. You have 14 days to try out the product and really see how it can best fit in your use case and your work process. And of course, you can always provide feedback. You have access to our support in case you have any technical questions, issues, and all that. So we're very excited for you to really give it a try, and we're excited to learn more about how it can further help you in your processes and in your workflow.
Yeah, that's a good point too that I want to point out. We have a fully dedicated, world-class support team behind our Fiddler products, and you're not going to, find that in a lot of related products. So I think that's important to realize is that you have a direct path of where to go for help. We are the same people that walk in your shoes, right? We're developers who have to debug network traffic. We still have internal support teams that support our end clients. So we have that firsthand knowledge which gives us an inside track when developing these products because we know the same problems we have are the ones that you have. So you'll see that built in, just like someone said with some of the intuitive features. You probably might say, "I wish it had that." Oh, wait, it has that. That you're gonna run into that a lot. Like, oh, I would suggest this, and then you realize that feature's there. Sometimes we do have a lot of features, guilty. But as you go through them, you'll find the ones that work for you, like I said, and make it your own. Um, but I think we're doing a great job, and it's because of viewers like you. And like Simona said, we're open to suggestions. Please reach out to us. We have an open line, and we're happy to talk. Well, this is
Well said.
awesome, Simona. I appreciate you
Yep.
joining us today.
Thank you.
I know we'll have some more. We have, I think, another one planned in a couple weeks. I think that's Fiddler Everywhere. So we'll be getting more into the debugging solution for your network traffic and mocking and inspecting and all of those good things. So a little bit of a
Covering all the
shift in gears.
topics.
Yep, shifting gears, but still very valuable with some key takeaways. And one of the things I've heard is like, when your website's failing, what do you do? I mean, turn to Fiddler Everywhere, and we can show you what you can accomplish in an hour, what might take you days. So Again, thank you for joining us, and thank you for everyone for tuning in. Please, again, drop us a line. Happy to hear from you. And if you have any other topic requests, we're open to that as well. Well, till next time, Simona, thank you again.
Thank you, Eve, and talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Have a good
Bye-bye.
day.